If you want to know the top thing that men cannot stand, then you're going to want to watch this video. And I've got my boxing gloves ready. I'm actually not wearing boxing gloves, but I'm ready to go because this topic, more than any other topic, typically ruffles some feathers and upsets some people in the comment section. But I'm definitely ready to go, and I think today is really important, and I'm going to jump into it. I'm Jason Silver. I am the dating coach for ambitious women. In this channel, Attract Great Guys, I go through strategies, tactics, different information on how to attract a higher quality man into a lifelong committed relationship. Please do become a subscriber by hitting the red subscribe button beneath this video and the little notification bell next to it. It allows us to build a relationship and start stacking knowledge so we can get more and more advanced. So do become a subscriber. It's the better way to learn this information. Now, jumping right into it, what is the one thing that upsets men the most? That is the biggest turnoff, and it is being judgmental. And I already hear all of the upset comments. What do you mean we can't be judgmental? There's so much justified anger. You know, I have a right to be angry. Men are doing this, men are doing that, etc., etc., etc. And I don't disagree with you, okay? There's always a bunch of comments saying, why don't you talk to men? Why don't you teach men how to date? Listen, there's a million channels out there that talk about dating advice for men. This channel is talking to women. It's sharing the male perspective on dating specifically for women. So I am going to talk about what helps women. I'm going to talk about things that you can actually do, things that are within your sphere of influence. I'm not going to sit here and complain about things that we have no control over, because what's the point? What's the point of me sitting here and complaining about how men should learn X, Y, Z? Okay? They can watch a YouTube video on that. They can hire a coach about that. That's, I'm not responsible for the entire world. Okay, so that's just addressing all of the haters in the comment section. But this is so important. There was one of the most robust studies on attraction actually showed that kindness and understanding were one of the top traits that men looked for in a partner. And that was actually one of my top traits that I looked for in a partner when I met my wife. And so the idea of being kind and understanding, it's imperative to develop that character trait if you're going to go out there and try to attract the highest quality men. So in this video, I wanted to actually break down a few different ways that you can develop more kindness and compassion and acceptance in the dating scene in the midst of all of this justified anger. But I want to go through a few little tips that help to focus on your sphere of influence and to help develop that muscle of compassion. The first thing is just a line. It's just a saying. And the saying is that he is just being who he is. He has no chance of being anyone other than himself. This has helped me so much with everything in life. If I'm dealing with a family member and maybe the family member does something that's really upsetting to me, well, you know what? He's just being himself. He has no choice or ability to be anyone other than him. And, then it's up to me. Can I accept him or not? You can apply it to dating. You can apply it even if you're just driving down the street and there's a car driving like a maniac, and then you pull up to an intersection, right? And he was driving like 80 miles an hour, but you both stop at the red light. You could look over and give the guy a dirty look for driving like a maniac, but he's just being himself. That's who he is. That's what he does. He has no chance of being anyone other than that. And is that your responsibility? Like, are you giving him a dirty look at the stoplight? Is that really going to reform him into a safe driver? Probably not. So it's really about accepting other people, not approving of them. And that's actually the next point that I wanted to share, is the idea of practicing acceptance. Now, there's a difference between acceptance and approval. Acceptance is basically being aware of reality. Accepting the reality of the situation, not trying to wish or should that it should be anything else, okay? Just fully accepting it. And what that looks like is I've had people come up to me and say, oh, Jason, what's wrong? And I'd say, nothing's wrong. I'm just in the process of accepting something right now. So acceptance can be a bit of a painful process. Accepting that you lost a job, that you lost a friend, that you lost a relationship. There's typically some pain of letting go your hope or your dream or your vision to accept the reality of the situation. But there's so many times when we don't accept things, that instead we complain about them. There's certain things that we just accept as fact, like taxes. We may not like taxes, but for the most part, most people accept that they're a reality and don't just stop paying them because they accept that there's a harsh consequence if they don't pay their taxes. Or if there's a family member who's a little bit crazy, maybe you don't approve of their behavior, but you accept who they are and you're willing to tolerate their insanity for just a few hours a year, right? And you don't need to try to change them or gossip about them. It's really just being more peaceful within yourself and realizing that there is a difference between approval and acceptance. And I can accept someone without approving of their behavior. And then the final thing is another saying, which is something that I like to say often. If someone upsets me, I typically like to say, well, they didn't read chapter 7, page 4, paragraph 2 on how to treat Jason Silver, or how to act when you're driving next to Jason Silver, or how to act on a phone call and exactly what to say to Jason Silver to be kind and appropriate. People don't read my guidebook or manual on how to live life. Now, a lot of people watch these videos, but does that mean that I get to control what they do? No, I don't. So it's just the idea that not everyone has read my manual and guidebook on how to live life, and I can just accept that people are going to do what they're going to do, and I have no choice. I have no control. I can't change who they are or what they're doing. And that is a huge, huge relief that I'm not responsible for everyone and everything. And the more that you can practice this, where you can say that they're just being themselves and you can learn to accept them, what you'll find is that as we get older in life, as we have painful relationship experiences, it's the people who have the ability to have the most compassion, the most love for others that are able to make and create the healthiest relationships and to attract the best guys, because at the end of the day, what we need more of in dating is compassion and acceptance. And that doesn't mean lowering your standards and allowing men to mistreat you. It means more love and acceptance of things that might not be deal breakers, but might not be exactly what you want. It's learning to let go of every single requirement that we have to have more compassion for the imperfections of others, while still maintaining your own standards for what you need and what fills you up, because obviously that's important as well. So I hope you found this helpful, and I do go deep into a lot of attraction strategies of how to actually go out and to meet the right match and to attract and find the right match in my free training series, which you can get access to by clicking the link beneath this video. Highly encourage you to check that out. It's some really great stuff. And again, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week. Be well.